Chris.
Hey, JD. What is the status of Rougned Odor right now?
He's not in the lineup today. I think Woody's looking to stay away from him, but he's improved from yesterday. He saw the San Francisco doctor here last night, and was a pretty unremarkable exam. It doesn't appear that he's really pulled a muscle or anything like that, but he does have some tightness kind of in that area around your, kind of oblique, by kind of down by your ribs. So, gonna play it cautious, but it does not appear that it's a significant issue at this point.
What is your what are you guys going to do going forward with Danny Santana? Is he going to end up going to the IL? What's the thinking there?
Yeah, Danny's available off the bench when we get to Oakland. Well, not that we're going anywhere, but when we start the Oakland series, he'll start probably like a bit of a throwing program and go from there. See how he responds to that, and then we'll make some decisions. But I'm hopeful that he will remain active and not require an IL stint.
All right, thank you.
Next question, please. TR.
Did you consider a roster move for depth today, either pitcher or position? Excuse me, position player.
Yeah, we have talked about it. See how guys kind of move around here this morning, and there's still a chance we could do something pregame, but as of right now, we're not planning to.
So they would have to come off this taxi squad, and you have on this taxi squad Law, Tejeda, and the backup catcher, right?
Yeah, Tim Fedorovich, correct. Those are the three guys. We also have Joely Rodriguez with us, but he's going to throw a live BP this morning, and if that goes well, then he'll be an option in Oakland.
But you could get somebody here, like just if you want to put Santana on the DL on Tuesday, you could get somebody here on Tuesday, right? Would that be possible?
We could. I mean, we're trying to avoid commercial air travel. It's not prohibited, but it's discouraged. So we would like to avoid that if possible.
Okay, thank you, John.
Mm-hmm.
Other questions for JD? Please raise your hand. Evan.
Hey, just on that, on the commercial air travel, let's say you did call somebody up and flew them in somewhere. Would they have to go through like some degree of testing and a period of getting that result back before you would activate them?
We would test them on the point of contact system that we have. So we have a kind of a rapid testing option that we brought with us. To be honest, Evan, I would need to familiarize myself. I'd have to talk to MLB about any kind of other protocols required. It's not, or at least the way I've seen it, I haven't seen it laid out clearly, so I'd have to talk to them about that. But again, I'm hoping to avoid that.
JD, you've seen a week of this team play. What's your takeaway after basically a week's worth of games?
Yeah, I mean, I thought we've pitched pretty well up until last night. 11 walks is that can't happen. That was tough to watch last night. Up until then, I was, I think we were all pretty pleased with the pitching staff, especially the starters that throwing the ball really well. The offense has been slow to get going. We've had chances. We haven't, with the exception of a few spots, we haven't really gotten the type of production that I think a lot of these guys are capable of. As is always the case when you're talking about a week's worth of games, things are magnified, and it's been we've been kind of a little slow going out of the gates.
Great, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Next question, please, Alex.
JD, so with the season not to a guaranteed finish, when you're evaluating, say, Danny and Rugi, as far as injuries go, are you guys playing it more cautiously, considering the season is still in doubt than past seasons?
What do you mean by cautiously, Alex?
I guess you don't want to rush him back as much. Are you taking it because there is no real end to the season, or it's not guaranteed?
It's a good question. I'm not really sure how to answer those. I think it cuts both ways. I think that in a normal season you might. I almost look at it the other way. In a normal season, you might be willing to wait a little while and see how things play out. Whereas this year, if you wait a couple weeks and give a guy 2 weeks down and then start building up the throwing program again, and now you're halfway through the year before you really have an answer. So, in that regard, we're not going to do anything to hurt our guys. We're not going to put them in harm's way. But I think if the players and the staff, the medical group, feel that there's an opportunity to get a guy back out there, I think we're interested in doing that. I think having a 30-man roster helps too. If this was a normal season, you had 25 or 26 active, which we're headed towards in a few weeks. That's different. You can't play with kind of two dead spots on your roster if you're at 25 or 26. But right now we have a little bit of the luxury. Plus we've had all these off days, and that's going to dry up here soon. So I think all those factors combine to the reason why we've been a little patient on some of these injuries.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll take a couple more. TR?
John, at what point does the general manager have to step in and say, "Hey, I got to make some changes here, either eternally or change the direction or do something"? I mean, we see moves every day for one reason or another. At what point do you think you need to step in and do something?
Not at that point yet, TR. And also our options are limited. I mean, it's not. There's some guys at across the street at Globe Life Park that will get an opportunity here in time, but it's hard to. They're not playing real games. It's not like you have a guy in AAA that's just absolutely dominating the opposition for the last month or so that is knocking the door down to get in. So it's I think change for change's sake is not necessarily what we're looking to do. We made the decisions, the guys on this club for good reasons, and listen, we've got to play better, but I don't think a week's worth of the games is reason to run from that.
Okay, Drew, you got a question?
Yes. John, just kind of going off the big picture, just 1 week into the season, I know it's a fairly small sample size, but just the sport in general, I'm sure you guys expected some of these disruptions or speed bumps, but overall, how do you feel it's gone? And are you confident that you guys will be able to get in 60 games?
I'm confident we're going to do everything in our control to get in 60 games. And that's probably the most I could say. Obviously, the virus and the path that it takes are well out of our control. I don't think that for me, there's no stigma associated with somebody getting infected or getting sick. I mean, I think where it starts to become troublesome is if it kind of spreads like wildfire through a group. I mean, those are things that hopefully we can control somewhat. And I think as long as the league can avoid that, and when I say the league, I mean individual clubs, if we can all avoid that, then I do think we can play throughout. I mean, I've seen it up, at home. I've seen it now on the road. Our guys are being very diligent. That doesn't mean we're immune to it. Obviously, there's exposure, in a variety of ways, but our guys are taking it seriously, and I think if kind of everybody has that same mentality, I do believe we can do this.
We'll take one more, Evan. This is it. Woody's ready. So,
JD, you guys have a unique challenge tomorrow in an off day on the road in this environment. What's going to be the marching instructions for your guys? I mean, are they staying in their hotel rooms for 24 straight hours?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, I think guys will be. There aren't that many options. I mean, we've been communicated a lot throughout the process. I think guys understand. These are we're not talking about kids. I mean, these are mature adults, and I think they get it. They've seen some of the issues other clubs have had. They don't want to be in that spot. So yeah, will guys stay in the hotel 100%? I don't know. I mean, they don't have to. I plan on kind of going out for a walk around town, wear my mask, and it's been beautiful here. And so I'm sure some guys will get out and do something similar, but other than that, it's pretty limiting. There's no restaurants. There's no. I mean, most of the attractions I think are basically shut down anyway, and those are we can't be doing those things. So personally, I have faith in the group, and they get it. I can tell you that, like, from talking to them and watching their behavior, like, these guys get it, and I'm not too worried about it.
Great, thank you.
Okay, we're gonna let JD go, and we've